at the halfway point and kind of limping into this bye week. But for us to see back-to-back number 5 and number 7, we've got a lot of work to do through recruiting, through our roster development, and all those aspects to be able to, compete against those type of teams and play at that level. I felt our effort was there today. The execution was piss poor. We're playing through some injuries, which to me are part of the game. That's why we play a lot of players. We develop our players to be able that when the next man has to show up, he's got to be able to execute the stuff that we coach. And, we're not going to sit here and make excuses. And what we need to do is, as coaches, do a great job of making sure we're calling the things that the players that we have available can execute. And I think we could do a better job of that as a coaching staff. Like I said, we're 4-2 at the halfway point. We're going to have an opportunity to get some guys healthy now after six tough weeks. And I feel very confident still in this team. I really like where we are from a culture standpoint. And like I said, the last 2 weeks have shown us that we still got a little ways to go, but I still have the ultimate confidence in this group of players as we move into, again, the meat of our schedule, that we'll have an opportunity to continue to grow and develop this program. The bye week couldn't have come at a better time for us. Gives us a chance to regroup, reevaluate the things we're doing in all 3 phases, reevaluate the people in our program, as we always do when we quality control here at the halfway point, and then thirdly, get some guys healthy. And then with that, I'll open it up to some questions. Well, our coverage technique, obviously, we had guys looking like they fell out of airplanes. They were so wide open. And again, as a coaching staff, when we know that we're losing, we're down our 4th corners, we've got to do a better job of, again, calling things that we can get executed with the players we have. And we made that adjustment, after the first half, started playing a lot of more cover 2, which we hadn't played a lot of, and kind of took away the deep balls, but now that opens up the run game. And so now we've got to play the chess match. And so, again, I thought Bryant continues to try to do those things to protect the players as we start losing guys. I mean, not having your top 3 corners, and now you're down to your 5th and 6th guy out there. We have to do a good job as a coaching staff of making sure we understand our personnel and doing the things that can keep us in front of the football, because you can't give up that many yards. And it was like 7-on-7 out there in the first half.
What did you think of Talia's performance today, particularly his decision-making from last week to this time?
You know what, man? He played a really strong game for 3 quarters. And for me, I wanted to win the 4th quarter. That's one of our pillars of our program, is to win the 4th quarter. And he just made some piss poor decisions at the end. And I feel for him because, again, he's a guy that's very competitive. And we've got to do a great job of making sure that he understands, take what they give you. I mean, the last pick 6, he should have handed the ball off, and he knew it. And I feel for him because he has to, make those kind of mistakes as he continues to grow into the type of leader that we know he can and will be. But for 3 quarters, he played the type of game that we need out of our quarterback. I just would have loved to see him finish the game, making the great decisions, not forcing it, not trying to be too competitive. We wanted to win the 4th quarter, so he's trying to force the ball, and that's not what you do at that position.
What can you tell us about Jayshon Jones?
The initial thing, it doesn't look good, obviously, because they didn't allow him to come back. But until we get the picture of it, get him in there to get the MRI, I feel for that kid. He's a guy that I thought had made the next step and had taken the next step and made the move. We went from a position of strength there at the receiver position to possibly now being down 2 of those guys. But as with anything in our program, that means that we've got to develop some of these other younger players to be able to take up the slack and pick up where some of these older players have left off.
Are Jacorian and Kenny both injuries?
Yeah, they were both injuries. I mean, Jacorian had a high hamstring at the end of the second half, didn't play last week. We traveled him, we treated him up until game time. And, again, when you play with a bad will and you're a coverage guy, and speed is the name of his game. And, that he and guys like Deontay Banks allowed us to play man coverage, which is something we did well. Well, so he wasn't prepared to play today. We warmed him up to see where he was, and he couldn't go. Kenny didn't even make the trip, had a hamstring during practice. So we're hoping again that this bye week couldn't have come at a better time for us to try to get healthy and prepare ourselves for a nice, tough game on the road.
CJ Stroud has only really played one game fully healthy. Did he look on the field like he did on tape?
I mean, he made the throws he needed to make. I would have loved to see us be a little more in better position where we challenge some of these throws. But he had wide open guys and he hit the wide open guys, which is what you want your quarterback to do.
36 rushing attempts, 56 yards. How difficult is it to get the offense going?
Say that again.
36 rushing attempts for 56 yards. How difficult is it to get the offense going when the running game isn't there?
Yeah, it's all about balance. I mean, for us to be the type of offense, when we're clicking, we're able to run the ball. We're able to add our RPOs to it. We're able to throw the ball. What we've got to do is, as I said here at the halfway point, is we need to take a look at everything we've done the first 6 games, self-scout it, see what we need to adjust, see the direction we need to go in all 3 phases, offensively, defensively, and special teams. How you start the season doesn't always mean that's how you end based on the personnel you have available. And that's what we need to take a deep dive into.
Coach, you guys came in tied to the league in sacks in the Big Ten. You managed 1 today. Is that more a tribute to Ohio State, how they were up front, or you guys not getting enough pressure?
No, they did a great job of keeping extra tight ends and backs in. A lot of their stuff was max protection, which again is a compliment that we have obviously created a reputation where we can get after the quarterback. But again, I also think some of it is our ability to stay in coverage, which helps you get sacks. When he's able to not be disrupted, drop back and sit back, and with guys running free pretty quickly, it's hard to get to the quarterback the way the ball came out so fast today. And to me, I attribute it to our inability to stay with our guy, whether it was zone or man. Thanks.
Samuel Buana.
Hey, Sam, when you're kind of coming off these back-to-back games, what kind of comes to mind as far as kind of where you guys need to go and improve as a team?
We just got to get back to the basics, really. Get back to our fundamentals. Get back to, just playing the game step by step. I feel like some of us got overwhelmed. We also got to get a lot of guys back healthy, man. We've had a lot of injuries in very important positions, especially like going against one of the best receiver coordination. You got to have some good cornerbacks, and I feel like we've had a lot of injuries in that room. But it's no excuse. Good props to good work to Ohio State. They came out and played ball. We just got to move on, take this bye week to get some guys back healthy, and get ready for Minnesota.
Talk a little bit more about the Ohio State offense and what was causing guys has been any problems, especially so early on.
Early on, we was able to stop the run, but I feel like it's the pass that got to us. We wasn't able to get off the field on third down. That's important. You got to get off the field third down. Playing Power 5 ball, and they had a lot of third downs where it was just like they went for it and got it, or it was closed like 4th and 1 and they went for it and got it. So we just got to make a big improvement on that, getting off the field on third down. Definitely got to emphasize that this week.
And I know you guys weren't able to really get to CJ Stroud all that much today. What was kind of the struggle in the trenches there for the front seven in particular? I
felt like the front seven did really well. We did really well stopping the run. We did really well in terms of getting off a block, try to put pressure on the quarterback. We just gotta get back to the drawing board, man. Definitely a tough loss.
Locksley was talking about how even coming out with 2 losses, that is relatively, satisfied knowing by sitting where you are right now. What's kind of the feeling where, what's the energy around where you're sitting right now, going into the bye week and having the second half of the season?
We definitely still feel good about our team, man. We came a long way as a unit, as a defensive unit and offensive unit. We have good energy. We know guys want to play. There's still effort there. I just feel like injuries hurt us, man. So hopefully this week we can get some guys back healthy. We got a long bye week, and then we got Minnesota. But I said the energy in the locker room is still there, man. People still want to play. People still come here and work. It's not the same old Maryland, man. Like we actually want to win. We put in time and effort. But like I said, we got a lot of guys hurt. Thank you.
Thank you. Felicia.
Oh, shoot.
Leah, after the last game, you said the offense had some trouble, but they kept looking at the scoreboard. How do you think the team did kind of that aspect this time around?
I think, first and foremost, all the glory goes to the man above. Thank you for everything. And today, I think, we had a good time moving the ball. We wasn't really struggling that. Just certain times we had to finish. And but I think we didn't play to the scoreboard. We kept fighting. And towards the end, I made some bad decisions. Probably trying to do too much again. So, but other than that, I feel like as a whole we did pretty good.
Kind of going off that, what do you think specifically changed for you in the fourth quarter? It seemed like before that you kind of made bad decisions, and then what changed there?
We had a 3rd and long, I think. So, trying to get the first down, trying to extend the drive. And the second one, I was just trying to get points. And, my read key told me to hand it off. I pulled it. I came down to our other receiver. And then, ball tipped, and the rest was that. So, But yeah, then that I just gotta, no matter what, just keep playing.
Lots of talks about the next man up mentality. How do you think the receivers responded to that message today with Dante being out and Sean doing that?
I think our receivers, responded well. Started in practice. Every receiver, they all work hard. And today, I think they did a pretty good job. When I scrambled, stuff like that, and making plays every time I got the ball in their hands and stuff. So I think as a whole, we just got to continue to do better. There's always room for improvement. So.
On the first touchdown drive, it came after you guys had 2 drives installed, and it looked like you started a little bit more balanced, a little bit more looking down the field instead of to the flats. Was that based on anything you saw in coverage, or just because it was played out to the side, we're kind of getting blown out by the Ohio State defense?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to go through my reads. Every time we got a pass play or run play RPO, stuff like that. So I know I had to use my feet more, with their D-line and their defense and stuff like that. So, just trying to extend plays. Yeah.
Coming in without Dante and then Jayshon, and then Jayshon getting hurt. Were you expecting to use tight ends more today, or was that just kind of how it played out?
I mean, after somebody gets hurt, it's always next man up. So I have a lot of faith in, Cobbs, Dara, Los, whoever comes in the game. And I also have a lot of faith in our tight ends, whether it's in the passing game, RPO, stuff like that. So
Obviously, we've talked before about how important Challen is to you. What was it like getting to see him have a real spotlight today?
Yeah, Challen did, he did good. He ran the ball hard, and that's just what he does. He's always been a big impact to our running game, and as well as Fleet, Penny, Isaiah, and so yeah, I'm happy he played good today. He played hard, and we're looking forward to what he does the second half of our season.
Only 56 net rushing yards today. What kind of pressure does that put on you and the head down receiving core when run game isn't really working?
You say what?
When the run game isn't necessarily working, what kind of pressure does that put on you and the receiving core? When it's our time to throw the ball, I got to be able to deliver, and whether it's our running game is not working, we still believe in our running game no matter what. We're always going to try to pound the ball, establish the run, whether it's me or our running backs, and but I don't think it really puts any pressure. We practice a lot on our running and passing game, so whatever coach calls, we got to deliver. Thank you.
Thank you.